Hello and welcome to this video of how to remove a BMW G30, a 5 Series G Class Series BMW, how to replace the door actually. So I couldn't find any other videos on how to do it, and I decided to do one my own. This is gonna be a very shitty video, but it's better than nothing. So here you have a door panel removed. This one's very easy. You just undo the top. I don't know where I put it, but there's only this part that you have to pry off with the plastic trim removal tools. There are two Torx 25, I think, bolts that you undo. Then you just pry it off, starting at the bottom, and you pry it off from here, here, and here, and then on the top here you have to just lift it off and it goes off, and then you encounter that part right there, and that's the tricky one to undo, and I couldn't find any videos on how to undo it, how to remove it. And what I saw one video was the guy showing to drill some holes here and there, I think, but I decided not to do that. So how it goes with this one, let me just put this back in here. I know it doesn't help that it's already removed, but the thing is, when you have it here in the car, you undo a lot of Torx 30 screws that are all around here, and then you have to use 13mm socket for these white ones. And after that, the window should be lifted all the way up. You carefully pry it off, starting at the bottom. You just pry it off, pop these off. All of these, they are pretty tight, but carefully pop them off. And then you can slide this thing down together with the window. You have the window locked in here. You don't need to remove the speaker or the window mechanism. And then here you have these clips that hold the window. So you have to use like a screwdriver. Maybe you can do it with your finger. I did it with a screwdriver. You push this one out here and there, and then you release it from the window, so you can remove this thing. It goes out, and the window, I pulled it out for the top right here. It goes for the outside. And yeah, I will continue this further on to remove the whole door, because I need to replace it because it has some damage there. And for the handle, there is another video that shows how to remove it, but basically you have to pop this rubber seal here. It looks similar to this one, so there's one here. You undo it, and then deep in there, there is a Torx 15 in there. And then here, sideways, I don't have a light so I can show it to you clearly, but you turn it sideways and there's another, it's supposed to be Torx something, and yeah. But there's a video by another guy who did it, so look that up. I can only provide some information about how to undo this black panel that's under the main trim. And yeah, hopefully this helps to someone. Maybe. Sorry for not showing the whole process, but yeah. Continuing with the door handle, so the Torx 15 that's in there and T25 that's sideways here. Once you undo them, they stay in place. Here you can actually see the T25 just stays in there, and the top cap that's on this one takes off. And then you remove the handle from here. There is a wire that I already removed. There is a clip like this. You undo it, you pry it with the screwdriver, carefully not to break it. Pull it out. The wire is routed through here, routed, I don't know. And then you have this screw here. You don't need to actually unscrew it fully, just unscrew it a little bit and it falls out like that. And this whole thing moves. It's like I don't want to drop it in right now, but the thing is that once you undo this one moves together the lock keyhole, I don't know. So yeah, you have that there. It should come out from here. Well, it doesn't come out right now. I'll have to figure out what's all. Oh, there is a cable over there. Okay, so you probably have to undo this. Where is it? The door cable there. And, yeah, I also undid the T30 here and T30s here. So this is also loose. I was able to move it before, but probably this one's getting in the way right now. So once I figure that out, I can show a little bit more. And for the main trim removal, if anyone's interested, you remove this part, this one, and there are 2 screws in there, and then the whole panel just pops off. Yeah, so I have just noticed that this wire, this one, goes in there, goes in there, and it holds the whole thing together. So make sure to undo the wire, unclip all the shit ton of these clips from all over the place, remove the wire first, and then continue with our stuff removal. So yeah, once you undo the bolts here, and the bolt from the outside for the door handle, then you have this wire coming into here, and these things actually come out very easy once the bolts are undone. Just take this one out first and this one out second. First unclip this wire from there and then take it out of the door. And now here we have a clip in here. Yeah, I don't know how to remove it, but I already undid this little shit. Whoops. And I assume this one will slide off, but it doesn't slide off very easy, so I'll have to use a screwdriver, I guess. But yeah, once you undo this one, everything else should be free of charge, and then you can just pull the wiring out from there. Just you have access here to this. Oh wow, it's so much brighter looking for the phone screen. So yeah, you have to undo this, probably those screws too, or maybe screws here to release the door from the hinges, and yeah, the door will be ready to go. Oh, I still have to take off the mirror, but it should be just these 2 screws, and the mirror will come off. And then I will need to remove this trim, because this shadow line in the door we have does not have the shadow line. But I don't know how to do that yet, and I couldn't find a video on how to do it either. So maybe I will do one if I don't break it. For the cable connector that's in here, once you undo that little shit that I dropped before from here, you have to take a screwdriver and lift that little thing there just a little bit, and then this one pops off of here very easy. And that's it. The wiring is done, and I can continue with another stuff. So there is a little hack to do if you remove the door panel but you keep the light, the door light on the cables here. You can use it for lighting. So yeah, right now I removed all the insides. I think I showed most of it, probably at least the most important parts. Now this rubber is getting a little in the way, so I have pried it with a trim removal piece, not to puncture it or whatever. Don't use a screwdriver. And then here we had a E11 or E12 screw, and then there's a 13mm socket, and this one's also 13. So I had to undo this rubber to be able to access this screw. I'm using a long socket because I'm too lazy to find the normal socket, and yeah, I hope that once I do this I will be able to take off the door, hopefully. I'm not exactly sure of how I will take the wires out. Maybe I should take them out now. There's not that much space in here, so yeah, I will probably take off the door first and then take all this shit out of here. Okay, so I came to check the new door that I will be putting on. As you can see, this is a chrome trim that I will have to remove and replace with the shadow line we have on the original door. And now I see that the mirror is held by 2 bolts in here, and after I removed those, the mirror didn't want to come off that easily. And apparently there is a bolt hole here which is hidden behind this rubber here. So now I will go and undo the 3rd bolt, and hopefully the mirror comes off easily. My guess is that it will be T30, Torx 30 bolt again, and then the mirror should come off with no problems at all. And yeah, I found the bolt here under the rubber, and if it's hard to undo, just like in your case, if it's hard to undo just like it is for me with a T30, you can use 14mm socket on it, and it should come off easily. The mirror is now a little bit loose, so I'll continue that, and then maybe I'll show something more. And there you have it, the door is off. So all I had to do was, once everything else is removed, you undo the E11, I think, bolt here, 2 13mm bolts here. This is supposed to stay like this, the other end stays here, but on the door. Yeah, the top one is on the door, the bottom one stays here. You undo the rubber. I advise to undo this first before removing the door, and then it's strongly advisable to have a friend or someone to hold the door for you while you pull out all of the wiring. And now I have better access to the fender because this one needs to be replaced too. And what else? After removing the mirror and whole door in here, you can see there is this it's not plastic but something material. It's supposed to slide down, I think, because I may be able to pull it out, but I'm not sure. On the other door I checked and I saw that there is an opening down there, so it should just slide down, but I will try and give an update on how it goes. Okay, I ended up not sliding it down completely, just slide it down a little bit so that you can get the top out. This doesn't break, it's pretty bendable, actually it's very rubbery. So yeah, just push it down a little bit and then pull it from the top corner. Oh shit. And then there you have it. This one we'll have to reuse. Quick update for the fender removal. So this video is initially about the door, but if anyone's in a similar situation like me, where you need to remove the fender too, so you have to undo wheel well covers naturally. I saw a video where the guy said that you have to undo all the bolts for the side skirt, but I'm not sure if you need to undo all of them. You only need to undo maybe 2 or 3 at the beginning, and then you can just pry this one open and access this bolt from the bottom, and there's only one of it. Then this one you access from here, and then here's another bolt that gets in the way. This shit, the charger gets in the way, so I ended up just using 10mm spanner for it. And this door for the charger just pops out with a trim removal tool. You just put it in like this into the fender and pry it out. And yeah, there are some bolts up top. Here are 2 bolts for the fender, and here are, those are 10 mil, just like the rest. And there are 2 8 mil bolts, which I have removed because I couldn't see what I was doing. But probably they had to be removed, as here are some empty holes that I assume have some clippers that go into the fender. But yeah, just a quick random update. But mainly this video will be about the door, and this is 530E, so it has the charger port on the side. For assembly, a short tip. I saw one video recommend to remove this clip from the door and put it in there in the hole and then slide the door on it. But this actually a very nice clip that goes into that hole very easily. So just have it in the door, put the door over nicely, and then just push it in. Don't do any bullshit like putting it in there, because you will not be able to slide the door on due to this one little shit that will drop, misalign it. Yeah.